Ho, 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 and also boo! It's time to talk about The Nightmare Before Christmas. And since everything wrong with it is already a thing, how about a hot, fresh musical theory? In preparation for this episode, I was thinking about what the message of The Nightmare Before Christmas was, and I kept coming back to one thing it seemed to be about, which was, I guess, don't do anything different ever? But I didn't really think that's what it was, and guess what? It's totally not. Turns out there's this other interpretation, which is way more interesting and, way better than mine. It turns out the only thing spookier than Halloween is, exploitation. So, how about that? See, The Nightmare Before Christmas is actually about what you might call cultural exploitation, which is defined by law professor Susan as taking intellectual property, traditional knowledge, cultural expressions, or artifacts from someone else's culture without permission, Jack Skellington. Like, say for instance, I don't know, coming into a foreign land and stealing all their shit and kidnapping their head of state and being like, hey, so
this year, Christmas will be ours!
There's a lot to unpack here, so let's start with the difference between appreciating Christmas Town's culture and what Jack does to it. It's totally cool to go and enjoy someone else's culture. That's why traveling is great. It's totally cool to go to your friend's house and be like, wow, that's a cool thing, and it's an entirely different thing to go and be like,
I want it for my
but
own.
he doesn't stop there. He's like, nah, this whole Christmas thing, let me tell you what.
I bet I could improve it too, and that's exactly what I'll do.
And as we see later, improving basically means making Christmas into Halloween, which, as you may know if you've watched the film, just goes spectacularly. He doesn't understand Christmas.
Is a fearsome king with a deep, mighty voice. At least that's what I've come to understand.
Even a little bit. And he keeps not understanding. He doesn't understand it because it's all taken completely out of context. The meaning of it is totally unknown to him.
The point of the thing, not to know.
And instead of, at any point, talking to any of the people whose shit he stole, he's like, nah, I'll just kind of fill in the blanks.
And they call him Santa Claus.
And his rationale is,
It should belong to anyone.
but what he actually means is,
Not anyone, in fact, but me. Why, I could make a Christmas tree.
thing is, it doesn't belong to everyone. You don't just wear a Star of David if you're not Jewish. That's a literally sacred thing to them. And Christmas is not like a universal thing that everybody just inherently has, like the idea of having a holiday. It's a specific holiday, just like Native American headdresses are specific to that culture and have meaning in that culture. And taking it outside of that context is not just a shitty thing to do. It ceases to be art entirely and starts being a consumer product. Yeah, take that, capitalism. Ooh, got him. Also, in the real world, cultural exploitation is historically done by an imperial power like Britain. So imagine that Halloween Town started sending their spooky military, or I guess like lock, shock, and barrel, into all of the other trees, and they were like, all right, guys, everything is Halloween now. The Easter Bunny's gonna be scary. Turkeys are gonna be scary. Leprechauns are gonna be scary. Everything's gonna be scary. And also, we're gonna enslave your people in order to just make sure everything gets spoopy. Also, love is gonna be scary. Oh wait, it already is. Ooh, got him. And there's an important distinction to be made here. It's okay to make your own take on things that are sort of in the public forum, but that is not what our poor misguided Jack is doing. Like, adapting Shakespeare into modern day productions is doing a take on things. Whether or not those adaptations are good is another conversation, but you get the point, I think. But what Jack is doing is taking things without an understanding of their native context, without permission, and like what amounts to plagiarism. He's not trying to make a new thing or interpretation, and bless his little skeleton heart, he just wants to feel that joy that he felt when he discovered Christmas for the first time. He means well, mostly, but it also doesn't matter, because I don't know if there's a central court system in Holidayland, but here, kidnapping is definitely a serious offense. But hey, that's just a theory. A theory about a musical. That is also a film, but that's a thing already, so just a musical theory. Thanks for watching.